Hey, it's Theo and thank you for joining me. And today we have the first reviews for the mini set of Ungoro, the Day of Rebirth. Now, I'll be reviewing every card from the mini set on my channel over the coming 2 days, so make sure to stay tuned for those. And today we'll be reviewing all the neutral cards. Now, let's not waste any time as usual, because my reviews will only be 1 minute per card or less. So let's get started with the first card, the Egg of Kalos. A 3 mana 0/3. Death Rattle, summon a slightly cracked egg, break 5 times the hatch into a 20/20 beast, which is Kalos. And yeah, this card, it doesn't seem amazing. Like right now, I just can't see any deck you want to play this in, and it feels like it's just way too difficult to proc to get to the 20/20. And the other upside of this card, obviously, is that you get 5 minions, 5 times a 0/3, basically, before you get the 20/20 beast. But I don't think it's that valuable, even in decks with a lot of buffs. Yeah, you still need a lot of buffs to go with it. Even in decks with buffs, you basically need 5 different buffs to make this really work. And yeah, I think that's just too difficult. So I don't see how you can consistently get that 20/20 beast. I don't see how you can consistently really use the egg. The card might be okay on turn 3 when you get it in a buff-heavy deck, but after turn 3, yeah, it seems like a pretty horrible top deck. Don't think this card is going to be worth running in any deck, so I'll be giving this card 1 out of 5 stars. Then let's go to the next card that has some synergy with the egg, which is the Holy Eggbearer. A 2 mana 1/2 Battlecry, draw a 0 attack minion. So obviously the idea is you play this on 2, you get the Egg of Kalos on 3, and that's it. And that combination isn't that amazing, right? It means that you basically can't play other 0 attack minions if you want to do it consistently. If you draw the egg early, then this card is useless. If you draw it late, yeah, the egg is kind of useless, as I mentioned. This card by itself, though, it is a tutor for a 0 attack minion. I'm not exactly sure what kind of minions you want to be tutoring right now, but a tutor like this feels like it's always gotta be seeing play at some point. Just drawing very specific minions has always been good. So yeah, I think this card can see some play, and I'll be giving it 3 stars. Then the third neutral we have is the Herbivore Assistant, a 3 mana 3/2. Battlecry, give a friendly beast +2/+2 and a rush. Now, this doesn't go into a lot of decks. It's also not a beast itself, so you can't play it with like a City Chief Asho. You can maybe use this to give Amalgam Rush, although there's already another card for that, which might be just better than this one. Maybe you can see some play some aggro deck, but then yeah, the rush isn't that great, and yeah, it's very limited to beasts, so yeah, it's limited in what you can play it in, and yeah, a lot of decks don't run a lot of beasts, so yeah, this card just isn't very consistent in what you want to be doing. Like the perfect case scenario is like play turn 2 a beast and buff it on turn 3, but then the rush is kind of wasted. There's not a lot of beasts that get a huge benefit from rush. And there's the card that gives 2 adjacent minions rush when it dies, which might just be better. The escape pod, which is slightly worse stats overall, but yeah, you can give 2 minions rush, and you're not limited with beast, which is like, why would you really play this card over the escape pod? I just don't really see it, so I'll be giving this card 1 star. Then we have the Crater Experiment, a 5 mana 3/4. Every tribe Kindred, summon a copy of this. So yeah, you can play this in any tribal deck and it's going to work. Now by itself, getting 2 3/4 isn't that amazing, of course, even though it might be like Murlocs, but yeah, you're already playing cheaper Murlocs than this. They get 2 copies in like a Quest Paladin deck. Maybe some other tribals, but yeah, this card can shine though if you can buff your deck. It also goes into like, you know, decks with City Chief Asho. And of course we know from like Hand Buff Hunter that a card that copies itself can be very powerful. But yeah, this one is 5 mana and you can't really single-handedly buff this card because there's that Kindred that you need. So you need to play other minions before this, so you can't just buff this single card. But it is a card that has all the tribes for 5 mana, summons 2 copies of it. I think there's going to be some potential in this card because it just can go into a lot of different decks. I think it can see a little bit of play, so I'll be giving this 2 stars. And then the last neutral card we have is a legendary. It's Beast Speaker Taka, a 7 mana 2/2. Battlecry, discover a legendary beast from any class to gain its stats. Death Rattle, summon it. Now, obviously this card is horrible with Evolve and stuff, but yeah, by itself, it also doesn't seem that great. Now, there are some good beasts, mostly it's Torchlight you can get, or Omen from Demon Hunter. Those Wild Gods, yeah, those are great cards to get with it. But there's also a lot of kind of weak cards you can get, like 5/5 kind of stats card. And this card is basically asking you to spend 7 mana to try and high roll one of those 2 beasts I just mentioned. And if you miss, yeah, this card is horrible. Right now there are 20 beasts you can get from a class that are legendary, so it's slightly under 30% to get either of them. Not worth running for 30% to get a good beast, and even then it takes time, right? This still has to die. And also there's a chance to get like a card like Konzu, Renfero. Just not worth running this card at any point, I think. So I'll be giving this card 1 star. So those are my reviews for all the neutrals. Now hopefully the class cards will be better than these cards, because I don't think too highly of these. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of these. Are you a bit more optimistic about these cards? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my other reviews. Thank you for watching, and until next time.